We are live.
Hello,
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 Christine.
hello.
Hi.
Mariska.
Well, I'm saying hello this time from my home, away from home, for in an apartment that I rented for a year. So I'm happy. I'm really happy at the place that I am, but it's also a little bit getting used to because I'm totally alone now, right now, and that feels sometimes a little bit strange. Because I like to be alone, but I also like to get out and just talk to people. So I have to really get out, and then to accomplish that. So, like I told you just now, at this moment, I don't have a lot of inspiration to talk about something, but that doesn't mean that it will not come because, like you, I have also the gift of inborn wisdom, and usually that sparks something during the conversation, but I understand. Well, no, wait, just a little bit before I get back to you. I want to invite everybody to go look at www.uniqueresearch.com. Just go ahead, click around, see how it makes you feel, read some text about the research, watch some videos, and let us know in the comments what you think of it. Because we are in the soft launch phase, and well, we're curious to hear from you what you're thinking of the bright colors that we used and the branding and design. So please let us know. We're dying to hear from you. But I don't have another inspiration, but Chris, she has a really, really interesting story to tell because as you can see, she's also in a different environment like normally. But I let Chris tell you all about it. Would you want to tell us about it, Chris?
Yes, of
Yes.
course.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Yes, I'm here in a different area from the Netherlands. I'm in the middle of a forest, and in a small apartment, a small house, and I went for a small holiday for inspiration because I'm going to write about not yeah about the children, about the energy and the energy types and the colors of energy and things like that. And as I told you before, I'm very inspired to um, to use this as a tool for children. My inspiration is to help, no, not to help, to guide children and also, of course, adolescents, not only children, and the parents, of course, because parents want all the best for the children. So mainly everybody's.
Okay, well, a question about that
Yeah,
because how would that look like? You know, if you have a reading for a child, how would that work? Can you explain that a little bit? Because I'm not
yeah.
really quite. I know how it is with with an adult. You do one on one, and hey, you ask if they recognize things because it's part of the research. So we need to ask people. I will explain a little bit, Christine. We ask people if they recognize it, yes or no, and there's no good or bad answer that we need those answers to validate the question that we have, and we are researching that. So with an adult, it's easy because you just ask yes or no, and you ask them to what kind of experiences they have and if they want to share that. But how do you go about it with the child? Because I can imagine that a lot of children are not aware yet of
Mm.
all those gifts and talents. So how would you do that? Please explain.
Yeah, I do that through the parents. So I'm having a conversation, I'm having the reading with the parents, and uh, and we are talking about the child. But when the child is old enough, like 17 or 16, I will do the same like what I do with the adults. So I will have the conversation directly with the person, with the child itself. But normally, when it's younger, I have the conversation, I have the reading with the parents. And I ask the parents if they recognize it, of course. But what is also very important is that I not only do it, it comes with a package, because I'm not only doing the reading from the children, about the children, but also from the parents. This is a must do, because I need also to know what kind of energy type or profile or inner authority the parents have, because that's very important for me to know how to read, how to do the reading, for example, but also to know what the combination will be.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense. Yeah,
yeah, and I need to know what the consequences will be for the parents to, yeah, the combination. I
yeah,
mean, so and that is quite interesting. I have done a couple of readings already about children of all age, and of kind of different age, and yeah, and I want to write about that. I want to write about the necessity of having the knowledge as a parent about your child, but also not only having the knowledge about your child, but also having the knowledge about the combination of you and the child. It's even important than the other one, because it is all kind of yeah. For example, I give an example.
please do.
Yeah, it is completely different. If I, for example, I have the generation, the red energy field generator, and I have, when I have a child of the same energy field, also a generator, and then, so we speak. Our energy field speaks the same language. So, for one thing, it's for first, this is convenient. It is helpful by communicating, of course. It is very, and you can understand the other, because you understand the way their energy field works, because you share the same energy field. And of course, it's different when you have a child of a different energy field, because you can read and know about the energy field, but it will always be different to read and know about, or to be one,
Yeah,
or to have it.
yeah.
This is, I can, I know about the manifestor, your energy fields,
The yellow, yeah,
your color, your yellow color. I know, and I know the consequences. I know how it works, but to feel is different.
yeah,
And still, we both have a different way of yeah, our energy fields are not having the same thickness, and I have to be aware to come close to you, so you can feel me, like energy wise. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, we have talked last time,
yeah,
we
yeah,
talked about the emotions and things like that. That's a completely different story. But I'm talking about the energy. So, but also, for example, you are the parent, and as a manifesting energy field, it is very thick. And if you have a generator, a child with a generator energy field,
the red
you,
energy field, yeah,
yeah, the red energy field, so the child will have a large energy field, and it will be able to feel you like 5 meters from each other. So if you are in a bad mood or in a good mood, it if your energy is high or low, the child will notice. But for example, for a parent, it's not always, you don't want always want your child to know everything about you, because you don't want nice noise.
Yeah, he's selling plants. I
Uh,
will mute. I will mute myself.
it's okay, don't worry. I don't mind. But so for a parent, it's not, you don't want always want your child to feel your energy, because your child needs to be a child. And if you have, yes,
But can you do something about that then? That they don't feel it because it's your energy field. So how can
be
you? Yeah,
aware, if you have, for you, for example, if you have a child with a red energy field, so you know the child has a large energy field, you can yeah, take your distance. If you don't feel, make sure it, yeah, you go. It's not always possible, of course, but you can be aware of that.
yeah. I'm thinking that's because of, then the informing I think also comes in. What you can do as a parent then is, instead of, because I think if you're distancing yourself, they feel that too, and because we have a very strong force field around us, they can interpret it that, or think that they caused that we are distancing ourselves. So I believe
You have to inform.
what I would do, yes, I would tell them, mommy is feeling a little sad today, or is not really in her uh, good doing. So, but please know this has nothing to do with you. Just do
Mm,
your thing today and leave mommy a little bit alone, and it will be okay. Something like that will probably be what I would do.
yeah, yeah, that's a good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a really good suggestion. That's a really good thing to do. Yes, I agree. Yeah,
And
but
it serves a double purpose, by the way, because then they also see you, because you are giving an example that it's okay to express yourself, first of all, but also that it's okay to feel sad or tired or whatever. Because that's something that I notice around me, is that a lot of, especially moms, not I don't think necessarily dads, but I don't know, I cannot say really that, but moms, I see it, is that they try to be happy all the time and try to be, and do as if nothing is going on. And the thing is, I am a child of divorced parents, and I always knew that something was up, but then they say nothing, and I was really confused by that. So for me it would be really helpful to see and have an example of adults that would just say, well, we are not getting along at this moment, but it has nothing to do with you, we have problems or whatever, just talk. I know I need to inform, but I think talking with children, because I know it's good to leave children, and you don't want to burden them with a lot of detail, but I also think it's good that they experience their parents being, I think it's being vulnerable. Just admit that there's something going on, and then the child can just be the child and not worry about, oh, but is it me, or did I do something or whatever, because that is what children do. All children do that automatically. So what is your point of view on that? Is that a
no, I
logical thing to
agree.
follow?
I
Or?
agree. And I
Yeah,
think it's very powerful to do it like that, because showing vulnerability,
yeah, it's difficult word.
terrible word, terrible word. But anyway, so showing your weaknesses is very powerful. And like you said, it shows the children that they can do it as well. And so so this is a good example. You make it a good example why it actually is important to know about, yeah, to know about the child and all. And I'm not really that keen of showing the parents too early about the talents and the gifts.
Yeah, I understand.
What is really this is this, you know, this is somehow a little bit a gray area, because you, for me, for me, for my opinion, you should be a very uh, parent with a high awareness if you want to be able to let that be, if you know, because you have to let it be if you know the talents and the gifts. For example, I know the talents and the gifts of my children, but I am aware enough not telling them anything, because I wait until they ask me about it.
Yeah,
And
exactly. You want them first to be. You want to give them the room to grow, because
yeah,
it's all about the growing in life, that they learn how to use their talents and gift in a natural way without using their heads. Because for me, it was knowing my talents and gift. I was, when the first couple of years, I went straight to my head and my mind, and I was like, oh, I need to do it like this and I need to do it like this because this is my gift. And but that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. You just need to live and do your thing, and it will grow and it will develop on its own. And even if you don't know your talents and gifts, you still have them. So, I think that's a really good point that you made. That you just, so, do I understand it correctly then, that you just share in the beginning the energy types and the energy field, the inner authority, and how they relate and interact with each other, and all the other things you leave it a little bit more like, okay, for later, or if there is really an issue with the child, maybe
yeah.
that you look at it. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
if there's an issue, but I also tell the purpose, because knowing the
Yeah,
purpose is important too. Um, for example, if your child, if you notice as a parent that your child is in a way of a crossroad, and it will ask you some questions about, mom, what should I do? Knowing the purpose without telling them, it doesn't mean that you have to tell them everything, but knowing it in the background of your heart and your mind, you can give them some tools, some direction, and this is handy. And also, when you are as a parent, when you have yeah, the connections with teachers, or anyone in particular, then it's very important too to know in what kind of direction your child should go, not by doing it, the literally doing it as a parent, because you're not allowed. I believe you're not allowed to do anything, because it's not my life.
yeah,
It's their life, and they need to be in their own control.
yeah,
So they are um, their own kings and queens.
yeah, yeah. They just have to follow their
Yeah,
inner being, and who they
yeah,
are, and
yeah,
and find out who they are also. Because
yeah,
if you would, as a parent, I have a 1-3 profile, which means I am a, creative investigator, creative, and that means that I had to do a lot of trial and error, but I wasn't allowed. So, because my parents had a prefixed idea of which way I could go and which way was preferred in by society around us. Hey, you need to work and you need to have a job and you need to have this and you need to have that. And what that did for me was not being able to make mistakes, because that's what you are doing, mistakes. um, I became really perfectionistic, so I
Yeah.
turned in the other way, and that led to me not doing anything, because if I couldn't do it perfect, then what's the point of doing it? I'm not doing it at all then, because I know it's not going to be perfect, because somewhere deep inside I always knew probably that I'm not made for being doing things perfect. And by the way, nobody is, but um,
No.
no. So, but what's interesting, when I see around me, and I also see that it's changing for the better, I believe. But in my upgrowing, like in my age, my same age group, my friends and their parents, what I noticed there was a lot of position about what you are supposed to do. And had I and did my parents know my purpose back then, and also that I'm made to make mistakes because that's the way I learn in life, then my life would have been different, probably. But that being said, I also have journeyed through life and learned so much through that learning that there is no fault. So it's not like they did it the wrong way, but
Mm-mm.
it's more like, okay, this is for me. So as I perceive it, is this could be such a great tool to have in your tool belt as a parent, to use when you see your child is struggling, or you see your child has, it's not, some things are not working, or they are unhappy, or they are really sad, or maybe even melancholic or depressed, that you can use that as a tool to guide them, and give them tools, and let them use those tools to make the best decisions for them, because of course the child has also an inner authority that they need to use to make the right decision.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it's really interesting, and I think it's really important that those tools are around for parents to use. So, but how do you have more examples? Because I always like with this kind of subject, it's always nice to have examples with parents and children how that could work, because it's so abstract. It's so, yeah, it's a tool, and you have an energy field, and he and she. But how would it work in reality?
Yeah,
Do you have
I have a example. I already work with two parents and two children, and they have a very diverse family. There are there's one parent with the red energy field, a generator and energy field, and there is one parent with the blue energy field, the projector energy field, and there's the oldest daughter is with a projector energy field, the blue energy field, and their son, the smallest one, is with a yellow energy field.
Oh,
With
that's pretty
a,
diverse.
it's very diverse, and
Yes.
it is causing a lot of
Tension.
trouble, and trouble, also trouble,
Tension.
but also a lot of unknowing things, and not for the parents, they sometimes don't know what to do, and especially the oldest one, the projector, the blue energy field one, it has some problems with feeling ignore that
Being
she
seen.
is, not being seen. And actually, I told them it is kind of the counterpart of the blue energy field. It's not be having having the feeling that you are not being seen, because as a blue energy field, you need to wait for an invitation. And in how to, yeah, and what to do, because a lot of people don't know that they need an invitation. So I'm also doing this because um, making people aware that about about the other one. So if so I tell people, okay, your child has a blue energy field, so be sure to invite her or him, not every day, for a couple of times, so they've you put them in their strength,
Yeah.
and you will avoid them having the feelings of being ignored or being alone.
Yeah, they need really also acknowledgement that they are
Yeah,
seen, and by inviting them, you
yeah,
show them that you see them and that you value them, because value that they are valued is also really important for the blue energy field. Yeah, yeah. So and then
yeah,
because
and it's
they tried
also,
it.
yeah, but it's sorry. It's also important for the parent to know that if the child is not waiting for the invitation, or that their energy field is will have the feeling of a tornado or a big, it's it feels very aggressive and very
Okay.
so this could be something in going on in the family, that there's a lot of movement, and which doesn't feel very comfortable for everybody. So if you want more peace, want more quietness, for this is could be an example to invite them a lot, to put them in their strength, because
Yeah.
this is what you also do, not only giving them a feeling, but you put them also in their strength.
Yeah, they feel
And
empowered. Yeah.
yeah, you will empower them.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, really important. Yeah.
it's very important. And not only, and we also felt, because yeah, we went a little bit deeper, uh, because there was some tension between the boy and the girl. The boy was the little one and the girl was the oldest one. And we were looking also at the profile, but also at the centers.
Hmm.
And the girl, she does not have her throat center filled. So, but the boy
Das.
did. Yes. So we told them, or we told the parents as well, if you see your girl struggle with telling things, yeah, put them together. Only the only you only need them to put them together, and she can talk through his.
Ah, okay. But the parents didn't have the throat either.
I'm not sure anymore, but
Oh, okay.
it could be. But we were talking about, because the child had
Hmm.
some problems with the boy as well. But this is a completely different story. But um, so this was one example of
Yeah.
how it is working, and
And
but
do you
also
know if they are already, if they are experimenting with it, and how it's does it have do they see difference already, or didn't you speak with
um,
them?
yes, I've spoken to them, and they already experimented with it, and they have some results, but I'm not sure what the results are, or but I'm quite sure they will have even more results now, because it was already a few weeks ago. And yeah, I'm very eager to follow their story, because for me it's very I will learn from them a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's certainly the combination. You have almost every
yeah,
energy field available to you. And also for them, it's really interesting to see how knowing about the energy field uh, is going to change the dynamics in the household, probably, what I'm guessing, because we see it in the peer meetings, of course, when we are together as peers and we are just being authentic. There's so much ease in talking and sharing but in other times we also felt like if someone is off or whatever, you immediately feel it, and especially if it's a little bit denser, the energy field is really there. Usually, that's the flow is interrupted immediately. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to hear more about your experiences with parents and children and how
Yeah.
what kind of results are being made with that, because I'm convinced that there will be huge results, but we have to wait and see because still it is research. So okay, so that's are the things that you are passionate about, of course. But would you mind sharing maybe a little bit more about yourself, why you are so passionate about? Because it's my guess, and of course I know because I know you, but this is not coming falling from the sky someday and that you were like, oh, I think I do want to guide children. So could you elaborate a little bit more on what your motivation is here for this?
Yeah, yes, of course. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but the motivation is lying in my childhood. And I had wonderful parents. And it's not the trouble was not because of my parents. It was from the moment I went to school. And I have yeah, I have the most common energy field of all people. I have the red energy field, so it should be a little more easy for me. But I know now that my purpose and combination of the talents and gifts are not very common and are of a very deep level. There, the depth is very deep. So I am, and I'm also aware, highly aware. So I was a different, I was very different girl when I was for the teachers, and they did, and I'm very yeah high intelligence. I have a very high
IQ.
yeah, yeah, but you can have a high IQ,
Yeah,
but I also have the social things with it. I am uh,
EQ.
sorry.
EQ, not the IQ, but the
Both
EQ.
also both, but hoogbegaafd. How do you say that
Yeah.
in?
I normally can say it right away, but I'm not sure right now. Um, Wait, we just use Google.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
just.
I will tell, and you can say, I will go on further. But I needed I needed special guidance, and because of my IQ, I was not. I was, and for now I know because of my purpose, I was not interested in school. So ever what they were teaching me because I was not interested in that. So I was guiding people already from when I was 4 years old. I told them how to do it because I knew how I could. Yeah, I know all kind of things because I know I have the purpose of having the talents I need just to be me. So I was literally living my purpose and literally living my energy field completely. But the teachers were, yeah, they they really harmed me. They really harmed me, and I know I was very hurt by them. Very hurt. They put me away all the time. I had to go out of the class every day. They were telling me I was not good. I should have, and they told me I needed to be like this and I needed to be like that. And it was not only with the primary school, but it go on with elementary school or further on also. Because then the teachers, they knew my sister and my brother, and they were like, "Oh, you're the sister of this my sister, eh? Oh, she is so nice, and you are so terrible. How is that possible?" Literally, like things like that happened all the time, and my mother had to come to school all the time and to defend me, and I was really, really unsafe at school. For example, one teacher, we had to talk. We have to talk, and then it was for our exam, and we have to speak, and then in a Dutch language, and then we get a grade for that. So he always picked me and said, Christine, just read the lyrics. Now I'm reading, but I'm very much an actor as well. So I'm not just reading the lyrics and the lines, but I'm putting there also a lot of emotions and things on it. But when I stopped reading, he immediately said, oh God, if you have that voice, if you hear this on the radio, you will close the radio, you will shut down. And why are you talking? And things like that. So this is very, it really, really hurts.
Yeah, of
And
course it hurts. It's just
especially especially when you know, and this is also important, when you know your child has a gift of unconditional love. I don't have the gift, but I mastered it. So I am unconditional loved. And if you have the ability to be like that, the highest form of love, it will really entered like a bomb, a huge bomb, and you will never ever forget this your whole life. And you carry it with you all your life. So I have plenty of story like this, so I will not make you miserable or
you're not, but I think it's good that that you share this because
Mm,
um, you know I think we talked about it before, not during the talks, but together about that we know about abuse, but normally that's like the physical abuse or the mental abuse. But this is even going beyond that. It's putting a child down, purposeful, because you don't fit in the box that they have thought for you. And that's, of course, a thing that a lot of people do. I did that for a long time too. I put people in boxes too. And if they are outside that box, then I didn't really know how to deal with them.
yeah,
And I'm learning more and more that if you are true to who you really are inside, then you don't need a box, because then you act from within, and then you will always say the right thing and do the right thing for the person that is in front of you. But we are not taught in that way. We don't learn these tools we don't get when we are young. So I actually think, now I'm talking about it, that your focus on the children and the parents will also be helping that part in the society to open up and teach our children, and therewith also their parents, of course, and they
yeah,
hopefully learn their co-workers, and so on and so on, that if you're just you, there's no need of putting a label on someone, or it's funny now I'm saying this, because we have this whole movement, also diversity, the LGBTQ blub, I, you know what I mean, movement. And what they are really, really, in my eyes, I don't know, I'm not speaking for anyone else. I'm talking what I'm experiencing with that is that it again puts a label on people. And I experience for myself that if I do that, and I look at it from the LBTQ blah 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 movement, that I'm immediately like judgmental. But when I just am and I walk through the streets and I walk through here is a big area that has the the rainbow flag and you know, but when I'm just me and I'm walking through there, all I can feel is love, and all I can see is
Mm.
how they just want to be accepted for who they are inside, and it doesn't need a label. It doesn't need you are this or you are that or whatever. And my hope is that someday we will get past the whole LGBTQ movement, because it still is putting up the labels, and I just want to get rid of the labels because we don't need the labels. Because if we are open to just meeting each other as we are and
Yeah.
accepting as we are, then there's no need for labels.
You have to embrace diversity. This is all you will need.
Yeah,
And I hope I will put on a discussion. I put it all in the open
yeah,
because I think this topic, is not in the open enough.
no,
And people need to know that it is really necessary that the whole teaching system, the whole education system needs to be changed. The children needs first they need to learn different things than how to calculate, or yeah, you for example, what I feel and what I believe they should learn is first is to embrace themselves, and they should learn to be respectful towards everybody, and you should learn, children, that we are all the same, we are all one, um, and if you learn them that if you hurt them, you hurt yourself. You don't need to learn them all the philosophy about it, but just give them the education for that.
yeah,
And this
yeah.
is very beautiful. And for you as a one free, you always check the
The
groundings, the
foundation, yeah.
foundation. So for you, it must be very. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to put on the my. He needs food. I'm
Oh,
very sorry.
well, Chris is going to do something with food. I didn't understand it quite, but yeah, I'm there too. I'm totally in that we need to teach our children a completely different value
Yes,
system. And it started, in my opinion, in school, because you know when we can stop putting labels on children and we can just honor their energy fields and they learn to honor each other's energy fields, then the world will be different. And like Chris just said, if you can teach a child that they become aware of the energy and what
yes,
energy does, that if
yes.
they hurt another, they know then that because it's energy, it will come back. So, and I think you could really teach children that in a fun and playful way, what
Mm,
happens with energy when you do stuff like throwing a ball, it creates energy. And if you do it to a wind or to a wall, the energy bounces it back. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of things to be changed. and I really believe eventually it will be changed. I don't know
Yeah,
when, but it definitely will. So, but you go on because you're back. So,
I'm
I'm
back.
back.
Sorry, guys, for moving out. But my
Life happens.
yeah. My computer was hungry.
Ah.
Not me. I'm not hungry.
Oh, I was thinking that you were going to put something in the oven or something.
No,
Oh,
I need my my computer need to be plugged into the
I see.
electricity.
I see.
My computer was hungry, not
Now I
me.
understand.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really a calling for me. I really have this uh, from every vein, from every vessel in my body. I need to do this, and I want to start a discussion. I want to start some movement by writing about it. I'm here now to make a start. Yeah, I want because. Uh, every age has a different approach,
Yeah.
and this I want to write about that too. Will start first with this, and I will yeah, and I will combine it with my own feelings and my own things, my own voice, and then hopefully yeah, we will be able to reach more parents and children and teachers. But I already have connections with teachers and with psychologists and people like that, so professionals I already have.
Yeah, and I think that's a good combination because it's nice, of course, that you get parents to
Mm.
learn about this. But I think that lectures or like presentations or something like that for schools and teachers, I think that needs to be somehow combined at some point because it's nice that the parents know, but the children are most of the times they are at school.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
getting more and more that they are outside of the home and that they are like in
yeah.
school and whatever. So, yeah, that would be really, yeah, a goal to hopefully we can, or it will come on the path when
Yeah,
it's the time to do that.
it already begun because somebody already approached me for the convention for the children, and there are also people from the government there, and
Okay.
yeah. So I will talk to people. I love to talk, so that's why they made me. They gave me the red energy field, I think. Blah blah blah. Talk, and so yeah, I will see, and I'm very happy about it. And it will also give myself a good healing as well, because yeah, I must say I'm going through a process now because of yeah, thinking about it and writing it down. I start to feel again about a lot of things I put inside, and which I didn't know they were there. So yeah, it will make me yeah, even more me and a whole person. And so this is for me the yeah, it will be for me the present of doing this. And I really love children and also adolescents. I really love them too, and they love to talk to me. I know that, and I Monique, she already told me that I have talents for this. So yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but like you said, like in the previous talks, that the things are happening for you right now. So it's evolving, and in every step of the
Yeah.
way there's a new opening that exists for you, and then you just step into that, and then the next, and then the
Yeah.
next. So
So
that's a
yeah.
beautiful place. That's only a privilege that you are following your path, because otherwise it wouldn't show up.
Yes.
We know
Yes.
that. So yeah,
Now this is also a beautiful example of when you doing your experiments with this, how it will affect your life. Because of course I'm busy with this a long time already, and not only with the human design or with the energy part, but this gives me the experiment and the knowledge about the energy fields. It gives me a boost. It gives me the extra power and for doing more and more. And yeah, I can only recommend this to everybody. Just when you follow your heart and you know your talents and gifts and purpose and profile and blah blah blah, then then your life, the energy works for you,
yeah, it does. It really does.
and you really start to love diversity, because this is what happens to me too. I start to love diversity.
Yeah, you start to love diversity, but also for me, like the trial and error and the mistakes. Um, I now embrace mistakes. I'm happy that I'm making mistakes, because it means that I'm learning, and that I'm evolving, and that I'm following my path in life. And before that, oh, I hated making mistakes. I really could be really strict and angry at myself if I made a mistake. And that was not something like that you said once to yourself, you made a mistake, boo. No, it would stay with me for like sometimes years, that I would be angry, like, oh, if you hadn't if you hadn't done that, or if you did it the other way back then. So I was, every time I put myself in the past, and I was not living in the now, so I could never catch on what life had in store for me, because I was living in the past. I was constantly reminiscing about the mistakes I made, and that I needed to be perfect, and that I wasn't perfect. And so my mind was telling me a lot of stories that I believed for a very, very long time. And by the way, what always like about Monique, she always says about mistakes, it's a mistake. So you can do it over again. You can take it over again. And I love the little playing with the words like that, because it is. I have the gift, and the beauty of doing things over and over and over and over and over again, without having to feel guilty. How cool is that? you know so yeah, I think there's a lot to learn, for everybody, for children, even also the children, to know, um, for example, to know that it's good to make mistakes, or that well, what is a typical example? You are a 3-5. So what is a typical example for your profile, that had you know as a child, um, what would make your life well, not more interesting, because I think it was really interesting already, but um, that it would have felt better for you. Just the profile part.
Mm-hmm. Now, the five is the rebel. So the for the five, the rebel part makes people notice you no matter what.
Okay.
And it's true, because I couldn't miss school, because if I decided not to go to school, I couldn't do that, because they know they missed me in the class. And so I had to go all the time. So anyway, but No, so having more knowledge about the five part, yes. And I am lucky because I have the five combining me with the three. But you can also have the five combined with the one. And that is very vulnerable because those people are even more in the spotlight. And those people are really, really food for projection by others. So if you know, for example, if you know your child has that profile, you can be like a lion, mother lion, for looking for that nobody hurts your child. Of course, it's life happens, and of course, you can't be all the time with your child, but you can be aware of that. And the five part is, yeah, it's also important to know that you have a different thought and different way of thinking or than the common people.
Yeah,
You are a rebel in a way, not only by be acting rebellious, but thinking rebellious or whatever.
yeah,
Your
doing
energy,
things your way in another
yeah,
way than others. Yeah.
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 And
I,
the free part, of course, the free part as well. The free part can be very beautiful because it's very creative. So if you have the free part and you have the free part, you can make sure that you give enough space for your creativity. But also a counterpart of the free is that you always put yourself behind. If you have the choice, you want to do something for the common, for the good of the common, or you want to do something for the good of you, the free part will always tell you
mostly.
and make sure you choose the one for the common. So this is also very important to know. So the older you get, the more mature you get, the wiser you get. I master that part more and more by yeah, by making sure that I first take care of myself
Yeah,
and then take care of others, because I know if I, with my free in my profile, think first of me, I will still think more about the others than the common people. But it will be less than otherwise.
yeah, it's healthy when you
Yeah.
first put yourself first, and then afterwards, that what follows is good for the community. I have many experiences with that, but then just my relationship that just ended. One of the things I did was I always chose the good of the relationship, and despite having other wishes and other feelings that I wanted in life, but I was like, well, okay, it's good for the relationship, so I will put it on hold. I will put this on hold. I will put that on
Yeah.
hold, or maybe it will come, or if this and this will happen, and then it will come. And it was recently that I discovered, because I didn't feel it like that at that point. I never was like, oh, I'm do myself short. Never. I even wasn't uh, angry about that or something. It was more like in hindsight that I was like, yeah, I put his interests always before mine in the relationship. And well, it cost me dearly because I have the tree in my body. So it means for me that it was also a lot of physical ailments, because the ailments want to try to get my attention, to point me to the direction. Hello, hello, something is off. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. But it's not good or bad. It just was something that I did and I was not aware of. Definitely not. So it's good when, for example, you notice of your child or your partner or whatever, that you can talk about it. Just get it out in the open and ask, is this really also good for you? Or are you just saying this because you think it's good for the group or it's good for the community or the relationship or whatever? So you get totally different conversations with each other if you take into account which energy fields everybody has, which profile everybody has. It's way more valuable and way more to the point, the conversations you will be having, because it's for the better of everyone in that time and not for just one or the community or whatever. So, and I just want to finish because it's already an hour away already. And I love this conversation, but we want to keep it short. I want to end with a little anecdote about the 5-1 because you mentioned like the projection that they have going on. And my ex-partner, he is a 5-1, and what happened one day, he was somewhere at a golf course, and somebody was he was having a tea time alone, and somebody approached him, a lady, and she said to him, "Are you alone? Is it okay if I join you to play a round of golf?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course, no problem." So they did their thing, and in the end, she said, "Well, it was very nice and nice to meet you, and I was so glad to have golfed with you, blah, 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 blah." And he was like, "Well, okay, yeah, it was nice to golf with you too." And then he went home. And then later we heard that she talked to several people about that he was, yeah, he liked her really much and he wanted to play golf with her more times together. And so I was going, I asked him, "Did you say that?" Because I know him pretty well. And I was like, "That doesn't sound like him because he normally doesn't say anything like that." So I asked him and he was like, "What did she say?" I said, "Well, she said that you would like to really like to golf with her again a couple of times in the future." And he was like, "I never said that, never." So that's the projection going on, that she
Yeah.
liked it very much and she projected her wish because she wanted to play more often with him. And so she wished it and projected it onto him. And so she told everybody. And that's how I understood something at that time, that was like, that's how jealousy could e- come to in existence, because I am really not a jealous type. So when I hear this, I'm immediately like, first of all, really, and second of all, okay, just check, just ask. And but if you're not, if you're more insecure about yourself or about your relationship or whatever, and you hear something like this, it really could plant the seed of doubt in your heart. Oh, is he going on with another? And oh, does he really like that? I know how minds work, and I know because I was there once upon a time. So the projection thing is a real thing,
Mm.
and it's certainly one that children, if they are aware, especially adolescents, when they are in their years that they are going to date and stuff like that, will probably be seen and felt a lot of times. And if you
Yes.
don't know, then you get a lot of confusion and misunderstanding and stuff like that. So, and it's part of learning and becoming an adult, of course. So it's not bad. But if you know it, then it would be, I think, a little bit easier to just look at it from a little bit more distance and not, you know, take it really
Mhm.
personal that it happens.
Yes.
Now, that was the end of it. Thank you. I thank you for sharing also your, well, I think it's a, how do you call that in English? You were vulnerable with sharing your experiences from your childhood and in your high school years. So thank you for that. Thank you for the trust that you showed within that. I really hope that this video will find a lot of parents and educators and people who take care of children, because we have also grandparents and like,
Mhm.
yeah, there's a lot of people who take care of children. because I think it's so valuable to have this information. And please let us know in the comments if you want to if you want to hear when her book is finished. It will take some time. It's not like
Oh
ready.
yeah.
So just let us know if you are interested in following that, because we want to keep you in the loop if you like. If you have any questions about your child, about yourself, or whatever, please also let them know in the comments. Check out the website over here. You will find some information over there. And well, we wish you a very, very good day, evening, midnight, whatever it is in your country at this moment when you are watching this. And we will see you next week. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Bye bye.